Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast. Where should we start learning English? I'm Linda.
And I'm Leo. Today, we're going to talk about practicing speaking skills. This podcast is for those who are learning English at an elementary or intermediate level.
That's right, Leo. Speaking is a very important part of learning a new language. When you can speak English well, you can talk to more people and make new friends. But where do we start?
Great question, Linda. I think the first step is to not be afraid of making mistakes. When you are learning, it's okay to say things wrong. What's important is that you try.
Exactly, Leo. Practice makes perfect. One good way to start is by talking to yourself in English. You can describe what you are doing, like I am brushing my teeth or I am making breakfast. This helps you get used to speaking in English.
Yes, that's a great tip, Linda. Another idea is to find a language partner. This could be a friend who is also learning English or someone who speaks English fluently. You can practice speaking with them regularly.
Right, Leo. And don't forget about technology. There are many apps and websites where you can find language partners. For example, you can use apps like HelloTalk or Tandem to meet people from all over the world who want to practice languages.
That's true, Linda. Another helpful tip is to record yourself speaking. You can talk about your day or read a short story aloud. Then listen to the recording and see how you sound. This can help you improve your pronunciation and fluency.
Absolutely, Leo. And listening is just as important as speaking. Listen to English podcasts, watch English movies or TV shows, and pay attention to how native speakers talk. Try to imitate their pronunciation and intonation.
Good point, Linda, and don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. It's okay to start with simple shows or even cartoons. The more you listen, the better you'll get.
Yes, and if you can, try to think in English. When you think in your native language and then translate to English, it can take a long time, but if you start thinking in English, speaking becomes faster and easier.
Exactly, Linda, and another fun way to practice is to join English speaking clubs or groups. Many cities have clubs where people meet to practice speaking English. If you can't find one, you can start your own with friends or classmates.
That's a fantastic idea, Leo. And remember, the goal is communication, not perfection. If you can communicate your ideas, you are already succeeding. Mistakes are just part of the learning process.
Well said, Linda. So to recap, don't be afraid of mistakes, talk to yourself, find a language partner, use technology, record yourself, listen to English, think in English, and join clubs or groups.
Yes, and most importantly, have fun. Learning English should be an enjoyable experience. We'll talk more about specific activities you can do to improve your speaking skills.
We talked about the importance of practicing speaking skills and shared some general tips. And now we're going to dive deeper into specific activities you can do to improve your speaking skills.
That's right, Leo. Let's start with one of my favorite activities, role-playing. Role-playing is a great way to practice speaking because it puts you in different situations and makes you use new vocabulary.
Exactly, Linda. You can role-play everyday situations like ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or making a phone call. For example, you and a friend can pretend one of you is a customer and the other is a waiter. Practice the conversation you would have in English.
Yes, and you can even use props to make it more fun and realistic. If you're pretending to order food, you can write a menu and take turns being the customer and the waiter. This helps you practice not only speaking but also listening and understanding.
That's a great idea, Linda. Another activity is to use flashcards with pictures or words on them. You can pick a card and describe what's on it. This helps you practice vocabulary and speaking at the same time.
Right, Leo. And you can make this a game. For example, you can set a timer and see how many cards you can describe in 1 minute. This makes learning fun and also helps you think quickly in English.
Speaking of games, another effective activity is playing word association games. One person says a word, and the other person has to quickly say a word related to it. This helps you practice thinking in English and expanding your vocabulary.
Yes, and another good activity is storytelling. You can start by telling a simple story about your day. Then, try to make the story more interesting by adding more details or making up a fictional story.
That's a fantastic idea, Linda. Storytelling helps you practice speaking in longer sentences and using more complex vocabulary. Plus, it's a great way to be creative and have fun with the language.
Exactly, Leo. Another activity is to have daily conversations in English. This can be with a language partner, a friend, or even a family member who is also learning English. The more you speak, the more comfortable you will become.
Yes, and if you don't have someone to practice with, you can use language exchange apps. These apps connect you with people who want to learn your language and who speak English. You can chat with them and practice speaking in a relaxed and friendly way.
That's true, Leo. And let's not forget about the importance of using technology to our advantage. There are many apps designed to help you practice speaking English, like Duolingo, Babbel, or even YouTube channels where you can listen to and mimic native speakers.
Absolutely, Linda. And another fun way to practice is to sing along with English songs. Find songs you like and try to sing along. This helps you practice pronunciation and rhythm in a fun way.
Yes, and you can also watch English movies or TV shows with subtitles. Try to repeat what the characters say. This helps you practice speaking and understanding at the same time.
That's a great tip, Linda. Another effective activity is to join online forums or discussion groups where people talk about topics you are interested in. This gives you a chance to practice writing and speaking about things you enjoy.
Yes, and speaking of interests, you can also give short presentations or talks about your hobbies or favorite topics. This can be to a friend, a family member, or even just to yourself in front of a mirror. This helps build confidence and fluency.
Absolutely, Linda. And don't forget to use English in your daily life. For example, try to think in English, write your grocery list in English, or change the language on your phone to English. These small changes can make a big difference.
Yes, Leo. And remember, it's important to be patient with yourself. Learning a language takes time, and it's okay to make mistakes. The key is to keep practicing and not give up.
Well said, Linda. Some of the activities, role-playing, using flashcards, playing word association games, storytelling, having daily conversations, using language exchange apps, singing along with songs, watching movies or TV shows with subtitles, joining online forums, giving presentations, and using English in daily life.
That's right, Leo. And most importantly, have fun with it. The more you enjoy the process, the more motivated you will be to keep learning and improving.
We talked about specific activities to improve your speaking skills. And now we're going to discuss some common challenges learners face and how to overcome them.
That's right, Leo. Learning a new language is not always easy, and it's normal to face challenges. Let's start with one of the most common challenges: fear of making mistakes.
Absolutely, Linda. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes because they think people will laugh at them or they will feel embarrassed. But making mistakes is a natural part of learning. It's how we improve.
Exactly, Leo. One way to overcome this fear is to remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. Try to see mistakes as opportunities to learn rather than something to be ashamed of.
That's a great point, Linda. Another challenge is understanding native speakers, especially when they speak quickly or use slang. This can be very frustrating for learners.
Yes, Leo. One way to improve your listening skills is to start with slower, more basic content, like children's shows or podcasts for learners. Gradually, you can move to more advanced content as you get more comfortable.
Exactly, Linda. Another helpful tip is to use subtitles when watching movies or TV shows. This can help you follow along and understand better. As you improve, try turning off the subtitles and see how much you can understand.
Yes, And don't be afraid to ask people to slow down or repeat themselves. Most people are happy to help if they know you're learning. It's better to ask than to pretend you understand and miss important information.
Good advice, Linda. Another common challenge is the lack of vocabulary. Sometimes learners struggle to express themselves because they don't know the right words.
That's true, Leo. One way to build your vocabulary is to read as much as possible. This can be books, articles, or even social media posts in English. When you come across new words, write them down and try to use them in sentences.
Yes, and don't forget about using flashcards or vocabulary apps. These can help you learn and remember new words. Try to review them regularly and use them in your speaking and writing.
Absolutely, Leo. Another challenge is finding time to practice. Many learners have busy lives and it's hard to find time to study.
That's a common issue, Linda. One solution is to integrate English into your daily routine. For example, you can listen to English podcasts while commuting, practice speaking while doing household chores, or even think in English during the day.
Yes, and setting small, achievable goals can help too. Instead of trying to study for hours, aim for 15-20 minutes of focused practice each day. Consistency is key.
That's a great tip, Linda. Another challenge is dealing with the frustration of slow progress. Sometimes it feels like you're not improving at all, even though you're putting in a lot of effort.
I understand that, Leo. It's important to remember that progress can be slow and sometimes hard to see. Keep track of your achievements, no matter how small. Celebrate when you learn a new word, finish a book, or have a successful conversation in English.
Absolutely, Linda, and don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your own progress and keep moving forward.
Yes, Leo. And finding a supportive community can also make a big difference. Join online forums, study groups, or language exchange clubs. Having people to share your journey with can provide motivation and encouragement.
That's a great point, Linda. Another challenge learners face is getting stuck in a learning plateau. This is when you feel like you're not making any progress despite your efforts.
Yes, Leo. One way to overcome this is to try new methods of learning. If you've been focusing on grammar, switch to practicing speaking or listening. Variety can help you stay motivated and make new connections in the language.
That's true, Linda. Another tip is to set specific, measurable goals. Instead of saying, I want to improve my English, set a goal like I want to be able to have a 10-minute conversation in English without using my native language.
Yes, and don't forget to take breaks and relax. It's important to give your brain time to rest and process new information. Sometimes, stepping away for a while can help you come back with a fresh perspective.
Absolutely, Linda. And remember, learning a language is a journey, not a destination. It's okay to have ups and downs. The key is to keep going and enjoy the process.
Well said, Leo. Some of the common challenges and how to overcome them. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Improve your listening skills by starting with easier content and using subtitles. Build your vocabulary through reading and using apps. Integrate English into your daily routine. Set small, achievable goals. Keep track of your progress. Join supportive communities. Try new learning methods to break through plateaus. Set specific goals. And take breaks to rest and relax.
That's right, Linda, and most importantly, have fun and stay motivated. Learning English can open up many opportunities and enrich your life in many ways.
And one last thing before we go, if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to share it with your friends and family who might also find it helpful. You can also leave a review and let us know what you think. Your feedback means a lot to us and helps us make our content even better.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you found these tips helpful. Keep practicing and stay positive. You can do it.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.